So without further ado, no, just kidding. I really like Tetris. I have been playing that a lot when I was younger, and I still sometimes often enjoy playing Tetris. Nowadays, it's not a game that I play a lot nowadays, but I remember being really fond of it when it came out in the early stages. So hard to say that. I actually remember a Tetris that was black and white. So yeah, that's pretty wild. And I also been to what's that, a gathering where they were playing against each other. I think it was the world championship for Tetris, or maybe the European championship for Tetris. I'm not quite sure. I just remember I was there and I saw the one winning the stuff and stuff like that, and I got the second place in Bubble Bubble, or how to say that, or a version of Bubble Bubble that wasn't the original. But yeah, I think like Tetris is a really cool game. It's been there since like forever, how to say that, and it's one of the games that are not that hard. It becomes harder this high up in levels that you get. So yeah, and there's ones out there that are extremely good at playing Tetris. I'm going to show some yeah, gameplay here of the first world record that was broken in Tetris. I guess it was. I'm not totally sure about this, but again, I really do feel like Tetris is one of the games that you just have gotta try. Like, it's one of the original games that is out there, besides like Snake and the card games and all of the other elderly games I have talked about, or old games I have talked about. Tetris is one of the ones that I think like you can get more enjoyment out of, or how to say that. Not to say that the other games are bad, but I just feel like there's something really unique about Tetris, and it's a game that have been following me since I was small, as I said. And then there was also like Columns for Sega Genesis that came out in 1989. That was a version of Tetris, kind of, sort of, but like more where it was a full line and you have to figure out how to make them pop and they could also go sideways and on the line and stuff like that, where Tetris can only be taken if you take a full line, and how to say that. And of course there's the different kinds of blocks in Tetris. There was not that in Columns. So in Tetris you have like a long line, you have a sad line, and you have all of these good lines. I'm going to put a link in the description below so you can see all of the blocks that you have to build with in Tetris, and maybe also some strategy and stuff like that. But I will say, like, look at this gameplay right here, and if you wanna take up Tetris, I think like that is one of the games that are really easy to figure out and get into, and yeah, go on. And oh my god, all of those versions out there of Tetris. As I said, like, there's the Columns, but there's also like reverse Tetris, versus Tetris, versus the computer, and like I think it was upside down Tetris I found at one point. But I'm not going to link all of that here. I'm just going to say to you guys, if you don't like the original Tetris, there should be like more than enough Tetris variations for you out there. And I know like the Tetris version that is on Facebook right now is not like the original. There's more like you can get power-ups and you can get all of these extra things that was not a part of the original Tetris. The only reason I know this is because I've been playing against my lovely boyfriend a couple of times and failed, but I don't mind. I really do enjoy playing Tetris, and I sometimes play it myself, as I said, but I was more good at the columns game that I have been talking about here for the Sega Genesis. I actually had the high score on the our Sega in the good old days. Maybe I'll try to see if I can find a ROM hack so I can show you guys how good I actually am in columns later on. Maybe in the weekends or something, I don't know. But I really remember like playing columns, playing Tetris, playing like games that look like Tetris, because like a lot of games have been taking this concept and building on its own. And of course Tetris is also in certain movies that it's referenced and stuff like that, but I will not go into further details with that, because I think what is most important is the game. Like, I know that there's this weird spin-off series called Tetris, but I have no idea if it has anything to do with the game or it's something really weird and something else. So I'm not going to leave a link for that. You just have to go and find that by yourself. But I just like the Tetris game, and I feel like it has a lot of, as I said, potential. And newer games can also like learn from this old game, or how to say that, with it being not that complicated and only getting harder as levels you're going into, or how to say that. And of course you only have one life in this, or how to say that, if you get the filled column here, or you get your filled screen in with all of your building blocks, you're going to start all over again. And I actually think like that is pretty neat. I know like there's also versions of Tetris where you can actually get 3 lives, so it's almost more like the old games out there. But I will say like the original Tetris with only 1 life, and that you only had 1 life in columns as well. So yeah, I think like that's pretty fair, or how to say that. It can be annoying when you get far sometimes, and you're just like, oh, if I just had continue, if I just had the right pieces to fit in, or how to say that. I will actually put in a parody video that I found on YouTube that's called "When the Tetris Gods Are Abandoning You," and I think like that was pretty funny. But I think like there's a lot of good things with Tetris out there, and it's as I sang in the start, the melody is just stuck in your brain. You can't help it, and like I think like that's great. Even the sound when you're switching around your blocks, or you're doing stuff, that also has this particular sound. And I remember the column sounds actually also for the Sega Genesis, and like when the things were exploding, or like the first screen with the sound, or how to say that, and the sound in the level that was a little bit repetitive, but so it was in Tetris. So yeah, I think it was all good. I think like Tetris is one of the games that are bounding in most of our out there childhoods. And if you're younger and you haven't played Tetris, I will say to you, give it a try. You won't be disappointed. And even if it's a like old game, I think there's a lot of potential, and you can actually win a lot of money with being the world championship master, or how to say that. But yeah, so can you win all over games. So yeah, I don't know about that, but yeah, I will recommend that you at least try Tetris one time. And I also remember there's spin-off with Sonic in the I remember in the Sonic Pinball you could also choose Sonic where it was like these Treon lines or stuff that almost looked like columns or Tetris that you had to defeat evil bosses with. And there's also of course a version of that in Mega Man where you have to be like getting 3 online, or how to say that, in a line and stuff like that. So yeah, I really do love things like this, and but that was actually all for the Magic Mirror today. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. So tomorrow it's going to be something else interesting that was a little bit maybe controversial, but yeah, I really like doing these Magic Mirror episodes, and I really love to talk about like the games, movies, and the music and everything. So yeah, without further ado, do remember that inspiration is right around the corner. Do remember to take care of yourself and loved ones, and that was actually all. Yeah, okay, bye.